Hey guys, Sundown here. This is gonna be my chapter review to My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia, no, chapter 259, A Quiet Beginning. I thought this chapter was pretty good. There's a few discussion points here, and then something else I chanced upon on Reddit as well. But let's get right down to it because this might be. I'm hoping it's not gonna be as long, but I said that last time, and 24 minutes I think it was. Anyway, the opening page we see Shoto's mother going to visit Natsuo. I think her name is Rei. Is it Rei? Is that their mother? Yeah. And behind Natsuo, we see this lady with bunny ears, and I assume that's his girlfriend. So turns out Natsuo, the icy guy, is a furry. Nice to know. Anyway, straight into the chapter. We go and we find out first, I think, what's the proper name of Dr. Ujiko. And his name, well, the name we're given is Maruta Shiga. Whether that's his actual name or not, God knows. I mean, the guy goes by quite a few aliases. So he's quirkless, which is fun. Whether that ties into his obsession and his research in quirks is, well, it's not really a prime factor in getting to, but it's a good way of getting to find out what's driven him to this point, what's motivated him to this point, why did he want to work with All for One when he himself is quirkless, or has he become quirkless as a result of having said to All for One, yeah, take my quirk? So did he have a quirk originally and give it over? Anyway, when the outpatient reception or pediatrics, but that's what we're told anyway, and the hospital that we're at the moment where Dr. Eggman or Dr. Ujiko or Shiga, whatever you want to call him, the hospital we're at the moment is called Jakku General Hospital. For all Star Wars fans out there, I think Jakku is a place on Tatooine. So it's where we first see Luke and Obi-Wan travel to after Obi-Wan's like, of course I know him, he's me, and all that shit. Anyway, so we find out how this guy has branches set up all over the nation. So he promoted community-based medicine rooted in quirks. After founding one hospital, he devoted his time and energy to charitable works, and then eventually set up orphanages, nursing homes, all types of shit throughout the nation through partnerships with his hospital. So when you ask how did he get quirks from different parts of the nation, how did he have such an extensive network? This is how the guy got an extensive network: through his research, through his acts, through his charities, nursing homes, orphanages. He's literally set up this evil network of quirk siphoning, all for one. So yeah, we're told he's earned acceptance and respect from many communities, all that good shit. But this is all kind of this background that I think Sukauchi is giving to the heroes, and they're just like, how do we actually know it's him though? Rocklock is there. How do we know it's this guy that's been creating the Nomus and been delving into like the quirk research and stuff like that? So the way that they'd found this out, and that he had ties with the League of Villains, is that they had someone undercover who was tipped, and then he told the Popo. But the way they found out was that there was this cordoned off, not really cordoned off, this secret area of the hospital which no one had access to apart from Shiga, and their agent was following around Shiga, and once upon a time managed to actually get proof of this section where no one else has been to it. And you see Shiga walking in through this door, but the most important thing is you see this little creature on two legs, a bull-like creature with the spine coming out of it, but it's on two legs. It looks really weird, but it's basically a bite-sized Nomu. So she, what's his name? Sukauchi's like, yeah, this is basically how we found out that he's the one that's been creating the Nomu. Nobody else has the scientific knowledge. No one else has the research or the technical ability to be able to do that. And it pretty much points the finger at him. So he's like, all right, we got to be careful about how we go about doing this. Otherwise, what's it called? The Paranormal Liberation Front will catch wind of us, and then it's going to be a full-scale war. And we don't want anything like Hosu. We don't want anything like Kamino. We don't want anything like Deika, which technically wasn't anything to do with the heroes anyway. So we then go to not right outside. We go to a hill near the mansion, near this hospital, and all the heroes have gathered there, and we're told that all the enemy commanders are currently gathered in a meeting. inside that building. And here we see that actually we see Gang Gorka, we see Mount Lady, Midnight, Smentos. We see a whole bunch of heroes we're very, very familiar with, not just from UA or heroes that are allied to UA. We see everyone. We see Sun Eater, we see Fat Gum, we see that Mushroom Girl. We see this dude whose arms and head are chainsaws. I'm not sure how that works. We see a whole bunch of different people. We see this guy with like a sagging pompadour on the right side. It looks kind of weird. We see Kaminari, Tokoyami, a whole bunch of different heroes. And I think Edgeshot makes the comment that the quirk that they have to fear is that warping quirk, that quirk that got Dabi and everyone else out of their grasp one time before. I think it was at Camino. But all they know is that the one who wields it is at the hospital. So I'm not sure who actually wields that quirk. I can't really remember. It's skipped my mind. But did we ever actually find out who actually wields that quirk, where the black oil comes out of their mouths and they're encased by it and they vanish, they warp? Anyway, the Mushroom Girl is like, yo, should we really be here? The League of Villains attacked UA, right? So she's instantly just like, yo, I don't feel like we're supposed to be a part of this. What's going on? Midnight clarifies a little bit. She's like, they've gotten too powerful for this to just be a UA issue. This is a hero society issue. This is a society issue at large. We have the police involved. We have every level of society here that can know this information. They are here in order to execute this plan. The police, investigators, detectives, heroes, bigger heroes, smaller time heroes, everyone is here. So their primary effort here is to limit Shigaraki's growth, to do anything they can to stop him from achieving his ultimate growth. So they know that he's here. They know that Eggman is here. So if they can knock both of these guys at the same time, then it's game over for the League of Villains, the Paranormal Liberation Front. It's cool times for the heroes, right? And she makes the mention of the fact that it's not just the kids who are in danger at the moment, it's actual heroes now. This is how big of a thing it's become. So we see here Kaminari and Tokoyami. Kaminari's just there like, why the frick am I on the front lines though? I'm really missing the Class 1A. So we have Kaminari, Tokoyami, Mushroom Girl, Sun Eater. They're all actually on the front lines, and as Midnight said, the reason why they're there is because they actually need their help for this initial stage. I'm not exactly sure what that means or what they're actually going to do, but we'll see. They're the only what's called not part-time heroes. They're the only lesser heroes, let's say. They actually have a name. They're the only licensed heroes who are still in school who are actually there. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. And this is where we come to an interesting point. Everyone has been on this bandwagon and on this hype train of Kaminari being a traitor, or the traitor, because we know there is a traitor in the midst of UA. And I don't have enough evidence to say that he's not, but basically people are saying, the fact that he's screaming, why am I on the front lines? Class A, I miss you. And you see it traveling through the forest back to like where Class 1A are. I don't think that was him signifying to the villains that they were here or anything like that. I just think it was to dramatize just to make it funny. It's an anime, it's a shonen. He's just there like, I miss you. But no one's actually going to hear that shit. No one's going to be like, oh my god, did you hear Kaminari? I don't think it's going to work like that. But people have made some pretty decent arguments in terms of how he could use his quirk like a GPS to tell the League of Villains where they were when they went into the forest to train, when they changed locations and stuff like that. The fact that he was never actually damaged in the whole training incident where they had the Pussycats. Was it the Pussycats? I think it was called the Pussycats, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different things that point towards Kaminari. The fact that USJ, their transmissions were being blocked, and they assumed it was the electrical guy on the villain side, but it could have just as well been Kaminari, who has a very similar quirk. But there's some evidence saying he is. I really doubt it. But then we come to the Class 1A, 1B mix, where we see Tetsu, Kirishima, Jiro, Yaoyorozu. We see Mineta, Jiro. Did I say Jiro twice? Aoyama. We see Sado. Everyone's there, and their mission is separate to Tokoyami and Kaminari and the rest of the two. They're there to actually evacuate the city, whereas Edgeshot is telling these guys, yo, you're with us and you're going to help us out. So apparently they're going to attack the bases all over the country, so not just this base. They've surrounded all bases around the country. Not even a mouse is supposed to get away. I can very easily see that going wrong. I'm not sure how it's going to go wrong, but this isn't going to be smooth sailing for the heroes, and they think that I like the fact that they're trying to be very prudent, and they're trying to make sure that they're not going in overconfident. But I do feel like that's seeping in, like, yeah, we got this. Look how many heroes there are here. I have a feeling something's going to go very wrong, and not necessarily very quickly, but we'll see how it goes. So Fat Gum asks the very apt question: how did we even figure out their whole meeting strategy, though? And this comes back to the conversation point of what Endeavor actually says here. He's asking Sukauchi. He's like, was it him who actually figured all this out? The hospital, all that good shit. Where is he and what's he up to now? Sukauchi's like, oh, that's classified. I'm not sure who him is. I don't know. It could be anybody. You see, what's his face? President Mike. You see Aizawa getting ready. I like the little detail that President Mike is actually spraying his throat to lubricate it, I assume, in preparation for what the shit he's about to scream at. And Endeavor, all you can see here is Endeavor actually worried. He's like, he's in a leadership position, but I feel like his gaze here is telling me like he's focused, he's ready, but he's also thinking about Hawks. He's like, yo, Hawks, man, like, I've done everything you needed me to do. I've bolstered our numbers just like you asked. Here we go. And I think that last part was just like, Hawks, I think that part he's just basically hoping like, Hawks, you've done everything you've needed to do. The last thing he needs you to do, the last thing Endeavor needs you to do is stay the frick alive. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think he's going to die. I think he's going to die. But yeah, just something to mention here is what exactly has Hawks done. So someone actually mentioned it on Reddit. Let me actually shout you out, because you're a good lad or lad. So Luminous Decibel, cool. He actually makes mention of how Hawks has done such a good job in this arc. His main objective was find out where the Nomus were, where the creator of the Nomus were, and discern their location entirely. And he's done way more than just that. Not only has he discerned the location, he's discerned who the person is, who the creator of these Nomu is. He's discerned, and he's made the heroes sensitive to information such as the hierarchy and the number of people within the Paranormal Liberation Front. So they know each of these individuals. They possibly know their quirks and stuff like that. They know what to watch out for. They've been told a whole bunch of different shit. That's the reason why the other chapter, I think it was last chapter, we were given that bit of information where it was like, oh, Hawks has memorized everyone within the Paranormal Liberation Front. Yeah, because he put it upon himself to memorize all of this so that he can get it back to the heroes. So the heroes are in good stead. They know things like their meeting schedules, which is why they're going to arrive at a very, very, very bad time for the villains. But I sense that feeling in Endeavor that he's just like, oh man, like, I really hope Hawks makes it out of this. We go downtown into the city, where civilians are starting to realize that, yo, where the hell are all the heroes at? Sliden goes there and he's like, yo, actually these civilians are right. Where the hell are the heroes? We have Death Arms literally leap onto Sliden Go, put his arms around. Look how huge Death Arms is. His arms are thicker than Sliden Go's body. And Sliden Go isn't like some minuscule guy. Sliden Go is huge. Anyway, Death Arms here is very aware of the fact that Death Arms is very aware of the fact that Sliden Go is part of the Liberation Army. So you can assume that he's put his arm around him. He's like, you backstabbing Liberation. So you can assume that Sliden Go is about to die. But that comes back to the point that Hawks has given away this information. Hawks has done a fantastic job, just like our boy Luminous Decibel was saying. So then we go to Burn-In, where we see the rest of the kids who are part of the evacuation unit. They've all been assigned sectors across the city. You go evacuate this area, you go evacuate this area. I'd like to see whether, I'm assuming it's not going to just be, oh yeah, we've evacuated everyone, it's all good. I'm assuming there's going to be something that goes down. Maybe there are Nomu planted around the city for a situation like this. If shit goes down, Eggman just presses his nipple in and all these Nomu explode out. So it might be Nomu versus the kids, in which case some of the heroes, maybe quite a few of the heroes, would have to turn back to make sure that their next generation doesn't get wiped out. Something like that could happen. We see the heroes walk into the hospital while everyone else is walking, and then you see Miruko, who's the bunny lady, who's actually an athlete. Like the way she's built, she's been working out. She leaps into the hospital and everyone's like, yo, shit, what the hell's Endeavor doing here? A kid's going apeshit like, yo, God, what the hell's going on? Then we see one of the pussycats saying everyone, like she's the one that can speak telepathically. And she's like, everyone get outside. There might be some fighting in here soon. Then we have the double agent. I don't even think he was a double agent, actually. He was just an undercover agent. He says, yo, come with me. This is where you're going to find that Dr. Eggman guy. So Dr. Eggman's just walking in the, or Ujiko or Shiga, whatever you want to call him. He's just walking down the corridor like, yeah, everything's running smoothly. Shigaraki should be ready in about a month. I'm exhaling musical notes out my nostrils. You know, I can't wait. I love the fact that you get this, you get the musical notes coming out of his nose. And then behind him he is, so you're the one. And then he turns around, he sees this blacked out Endeavor, and he's like the man behind the Nomu, and All for One's right hand. You can tell, like, just seeing Ujiko's face at the end, the sweat flying off his head, his eyes wide with fright, snot flying out of his mouth out of his nose, his mouth wide with shock, and he's just there. He has literally shit his pants. There's nothing more he could do. And the fact that Endeavor, it's flame off. He doesn't activate his quirk when he says the man behind the Nomu. He doesn't really introduce himself. He comes in and he makes mention of who Ujiko is when he's still got his flames off. And then when he says that, basically, like, you're finished, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's when he activates his flames, and he just looks so intimidating. I was like, yo. And not just that, you have Aizawa, you have Present Mike. You can just about see his hair over Endeavor's shoulder. They're both there with him. So if Ujiko, like, we know that Ujiko doesn't have a quirk. If it turns out he does, because, you know, some of their intel might be incorrect, that's why Aizawa might be there, actually. But Ujiko is not in a good position, and if he somehow makes it out of this, like, it's got to be explained really well. I'm hoping Horikoshi doesn't do a Nanatsu no Taizai where he's just like, oh, okay, his arm's bitten off, but he warps the world, and you're okay, everyone's good. I hope it's nothing like that. But I really also don't want it to be so easy for the heroes, like, oh, Ujiko, and then just, you know, Maiwa mo shinderu. I don't want it to be anything like that. But I don't know how this could go wrong. So the heroes have come in, everything's been smooth so far, but there's got to be villains here. There's got to be a whole bunch of powerful villains with Ujiko. But Ujiko doesn't exactly look like he's best pleased to see the heroes. So there's got to be something that goes wrong for this to step up. You know, at the moment, it's very smooth sailing for the heroes. Everything's gone as they planned. But, you know, all that we need for the villains is Gigantomachia flies in straight through the ceiling and starts attacking Endeavor and stuff like that. And then shit would step up and more villains and stuff coming out, being warped in or some shit like that. If Shigaraki gets off of his, like, life support thing a month early, I'm hoping there are some severe drawbacks to that. I don't want it to be some thing like, I'm pulling out all these pipes. I don't need these pipes up my ass. I don't need this nutrition. I'm gonna go and kick. If he does something like that and he's completely fine, I'd be annoyed. If he has enough power to just walk out and kick the shit out of all the heroes, once again, I'd be annoyed. I understand he's meant to be the second coming of All for One, but to be able to body all the heroes, I mean, like, to be fair, All for One kind of did that too. But I'd be annoyed if Shigaraki did it, because All for One was this, you know, this symbol of evil, this guy that was the direct counterpart and the kind of the antagonist to All Might. So I'm really hoping he's not at that level just yet. But if he is, you know, it'd be a bit annoying. What else is there to say? I think that's pretty much it. I do think something's going to go wrong with the kids, and they're going to be attacked by either a group of villains or a whole bunch of different Nomu, which would force a lot of the heroes to retreat and go save their kids and save their lives, essentially. But and then I suppose we could come back to the idea of, you know, is the traitor? So let's go with the Kaminari theory. If Kaminari is the traitor, or if somebody else is the traitor, what are they going to do to help out Ujiko? What are they going to do to help out the villains in this situation? This is where they got to make themselves known, right? I'm the traitor. I'm going to backstab you. I was always part of their crew. See you later. All that type of stuff. So let's see how it goes. I'm really excited, and I know a bunch of you guys are as well. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will see you guys in a bit.